My name is Thomas James Arelis Carpenter. This is Colin Ross, and we are live on Jessfm.ca. Now, we are just getting ourselves prepared here. So, what we're going to be doing is a little bit of marketing work. We're going to be spreading some links on YouTube. So, you guys are going to sit tight and watch us do it. Enjoy. Now, Colin, what we're going to need to do here is you're going to try to find this video that is currently playing live on your YouTube. So, search in Thomas James Arelis Carpenter.
James.
Oh, there it is.
Right there, buddy.
And in theory, if you click that profile...
Okay, live.
Hopefully... Oh, there it is. That's the video. Okay, so now, copy that link.
Okay.
So just click on it. Share.
Share.
Copy link. Go back to your Facebook. And paste it there. Boom. This is how we market cross-platform. This is some clever stuff right here.
I like it.
All right, so you share that, and then we're live on Facebook and YouTube, and then we will go live on the radio, and everything will be happy. If that looks good to you, we are currently live, and welcome to the Info Assault on Jessfm.ca. My name is Thomas James Arelis Carpenter, and this is Colin Ross. We are already playing live on YouTube, as you can probably see in the link. Wow, this is going to be amazing. Look at us go. And for the final touch, we are going to pause the live music. And thank you for joining us live on Jessfm.ca. My name is Thomas James Arelis Carpenter, and this is the Info Assault. And joining us today is Colin Ross.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen?
Now, why don't we just get you to say a couple words quickly here so I can make sure that I can hear you okay into the microphone.
Yeah, no problem. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Yeah, we're gonna say this is good. Everything should be working. I can see the lights moving around here. I can't quite hear it on the speaker in my ear, but
let's try one more guy. Can you hear me now?
Oh, no, it's not, yeah. It's these ones,
Yeah, I know.
All right, in that case, we are, I think that we are completely live and good to go. So, awesome. People are probably wondering here, it looks like we've got, a few already watching, what we're doing. So, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us why we're doing this interview today?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, my name's Colin Ross. I'm a local to Lethbridge, Alberta, and today this talk show is going to be about fentanyl awareness. This is something that's been on my heart for the last little while, and I've really wanted to reach out to the community and start talking about fentanyl awareness. Not only that, I'm running a fundraiser right now to raise some money so we can put some money into fentanyl awareness. I don't know if you knew this, but on average right now in Lethbridge, we're in the middle of an epidemic. There's on an average of 12 overdoses a day right now.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's an alarming rate, and someone needs to be the voice and start the discussion in this city. Is in my opinion, which some people are, but we need to come together and unify so we can really be a force to be reckoned with to eradicate the use of fentanyl in Lethbridge, because 12 overdoses a day is just ridiculous. Now,
maybe we should back up a little bit, because there's probably people here that aren't actually even aware of what fentanyl is. In Lethbridge, we're experiencing this drug called fentanyl. It's an opioid, and there's a lot of it going around. It's really spreading through virtually every age bracket as well.
Yes.
And through every ethnicity, and it's highly addictive. It's a type of heroin or morphine type drug, but
fentanyl is basically synthetic heroin, is what it is. It's been put into a pill form, which you can either take orally or you can snort it, or there's ways around to shoot it also. It's a derivative of heroin, right? So basically,
highly addictive, and it's a huge problem in our community right now. That is the drug that is causing a lot of issues. Like you were saying, 12 overdoses a day. Now, in a city of 1 million people, that might seem semi-reasonable, But there's only 100,000 people living in this city. That's a lot.
That is a very large
Like,
percentage.
it's a huge problem here. There's a lot of people that are really feeling this, and it's affecting multiple families. So, what do you think we should be doing as a community about this?
Community is what we should be doing as a community together. We need to come together as a community. We need to start voicing ourselves about these issues and what's going on, and we need to unite, and we need to educate. Education is the only way forward. You can throw people in jail all you want, and they're just gonna reoccur. Come back out, start using again. But we need to educate, and then we need to rehabilitate is one of the main issues for the long term, because they will throw a lot of people in jail, for like 2 weeks, a month, dry them out. The first thing they do is they come out of jail, their immune system, and like their bodies aren't even used to using the drugs that they had used prior, and they will like use the same amount of dose, go out, because that addiction's still there in their mind, and then they'll actually overdose because their bodies haven't used that amount in a long time, right?
Yeah, you haven't built up that same level of immunity, so your body just simply can't handle what it could before you stopped using when you were arrested, and that it is a huge reason that people do overdose and do die immediately after getting out of jail. Is because it's not that they're trying to do anything different, it's that their bodies are just not accustomed to the lack of the drug that they used to experience so often before.
I see we got a question here.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the new safe site? Amazing question, because that a lot of people are against it, a lot of people are for it.
Well, what is the safe site? Just a brief summary.
Okay, so they brought in, or they're building or they have a new safe injection site. I think it's the old Pulse nightclub, if I'm correct. But so anyways, it's a place where addicts can go there and they can inject safely. They actually have a room where people who smoke crack,
they're monitored as well.
Methamphetamines, right? It's a ventilated room, can actually go into a safe atmosphere, monitored by medical professionals, and safely do this drug. I've heard so much for it. I've heard so much against it. I'm going to give you my honest opinion.
I'll let you go first, because I got one too, but go ahead.
My honest opinion, I think it is an amazing idea. And I'm going to tell you why. Do you want people throwing needles around your local parks where your kids play? Do you want, people throwing in the parking lots their needles where maybe you get out for work every morning and can possibly stab you in the foot or your child? No. So this at least gives a place where people can handle the people that aren't willing to quit their addiction. They can go there and actually use a safe environment, dispose of the needles properly, dispose of the chemicals they're using properly, and then actually be monitored by people with, healthcare professions, right? So I think it's a great place to also create dialogue, because a lot of these people hide in the shadows. They hide in the dark. They come out at midnight, and you'll see them roaming around like little bees in the alleys, or like out at the homeless shelters, and this creates dialogue to help them, right? You can actually reach out to these people if they come in freely, and try to start the rehabilitation process, or even question if they're willing to rehabilitate, and then you give them options like counseling, and then there's naloxone, there's different types of methadone clinics, and there's a methadone clinic in town now. Because once somebody's actually used fentanyl, in my personal opinion, after they've used it, the addiction's there, it's a mental health issue. It's no longer, like a criminal act. It's a mental health issue.
That's exactly where I get my point of view on this safe place to do it. Is I've met many drug addicts before. Obviously, there's an epidemic in our city. It's hard not to know somebody, and the majority of people don't enjoy being addicted. They don't like this. They don't want to be addicted. This isn't something they choose anymore. It's something they did to have fun, and now they're in a place where they don't want to be, but they don't have any options to safely do this type of thing. And having this type of an environment where you can go and you can actually safely try to rehabilitate yourself with people who are aware of what the issue is huge. Now, even taking that a step further, there's countries that have completely legalized this type of thing. Now, imagine you had a building where you and all of your friends could go, say on a Friday night, and you could indulge in a drug. You couldn't take the drug outside of that building, but you could indulge in the drug there, and there would be people watching you, and they call it a nightclub.
Yeah. Yeah, see, like I said, there's a lot of opinions on this new safe injection site, but I think there's going to be a lot more pros than there's going to be cons towards it. Like, there's no doubt. And, these people are humans too. Even if they're lurking around looking for drugs, that's where you have to try and create dialogue and help these people be rehabilitated. You know what I mean? Like, it turns
an illness.
Yeah, it turns into a mental illness at some point. I really want to explain to you how fentanyl works on the brain exactly, so people can really understand what's going on when somebody's on fentanyl. Because a lot of people will be like, you know what, these people are weak. They're
constitution.
They're stupid. Yeah. Like, really, anybody can be susceptible to this drug and being addicted to it. And I'm going to tell you why. So we have opioid receptors in our brains, correct? So when you take this opioid receptor, it turns on a dopamine gland receptor in your head. So dopamine is a chemical that will release in your brain, and it'll actually put your brain in a state of euphoria. It's like taking ecstasy or MDMA, something very similar.
It's the chemical equivalent of love. It's literally what your brain experiences when you fall in love. It's the chemical equivalent.
Exactly.
Dopamine.
You could sit across from somebody that you've never met in your life, let's say of the opposite sex. Do this pill at the same time, not even know each other, and then look at each other and say, I love you.
You'd feel,
you'd
get the same chemical response in your brain, but it's not a healthy thing to be doing.
Yeah, like
this is an overdose of that.
Even though that you're both twitching on the ground at the same time, your brain has you on a sunny beach in the Bahamas just living life, right? So that is where it's really easy and susceptible for people to get addicted, is because of that feeling. And then, okay, so now that you've experienced this feeling, you keep using the drug, for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Now you're chasing something, man.
Now you want to come off of it, okay? Or now you're coming off of it, let's say. So now it's the total opposite effect.
Everything that you got in advance before, you get the opposite. You get no dopamine now.
It's like going from the best feeling on the planet to living in hell. And I like to describe it as people coming back to life once they go through the withdrawal. The withdrawals on fentanyl are so bad that people would rather use the drug and fight getting sick than actually go through the withdrawal and get off of it. They're more scared of the withdrawal than they are of,
the curing process.
Exactly. Yeah. The rehabilitation side. And so once you come off of it, you ache. Your bones ache. Your muscles ache. You go through muscle spasms. You're hot. You're cold. It's like going through hell. I recently had a friend that I actually helped take off of this drug, and I've really never seen anything quite like it in my life. I've never experienced it. Like, just for me to watch her twitch out and go hot, cold, and I not knowing what to do.
Sweating, pale-faced, nauseous. Imagine your foot falls asleep. You know what your foot feels like when it falls asleep? Imagine that over your entire body for days.
Exactly.
Like it's and you can't do anything.
And you're having, you can't eat. You're having nightmares, like you're falling in and out of consciousness. You're having nightmares. You're having mood swings. Everything in your head tells you to go get more fentanyl.
Yeah. So that's why this is a huge problem that we need to get away from. Yeah. This is the issue. And so I guess that's a long-winded way of saying that a safe place for people to learn about and to come down off of this type of thing would be a great thing to start with.
Yeah, we need to, as a community, the only way we can fight this right now, unless the government of Canada wages war on Chinese tankers coming into Vancouver full of fentanyl, which that's how it's brought into Canada. It's no joke. It's brought into Canada. So unless the Canadian government all of a sudden smartens up and goes and searches every tanker,
all that'll do is they'll find another way to bring it in.
Yeah.
If people want it, they'll get it.
But still,
people need to be fixed.
But it's creating the education, especially in our youth.
Educate the youth, man. Absolutely.
Like we are on the verge of losing an entire generation right now if we do not get on top of educating our youth, your children. The parents need to be educated. If you can educate at a young age and get it into their head, right, that this drug is the worst of all worst, then you can really eradicate this drug, because now it's no longer in demand, because people aren't going to do something that they know the first time they might die.
I mean, look how well it worked with marijuana 60 years ago.
Yeah, right? But
haha, that's funny, guys. Come on.
Well, and that's actually a funny question, because heroin actually never made it that big. And I'll tell you why heroin never made it that big. Because of the fact that you had to jam a needle into your arm.
Oh, don't like needles, man. I don't like needles.
And people weren't willing, that's why they were always able to kind of keep heroin under wraps, even though I'm sure you can smoke it or snort it. I'm sure they figured out that. But
so what do you think, what's a good way that we can fix this right now? Like what kind of, are there programs available? I mean, if this is such a huge thing, there's got to be some people that are aware of it.
Oh yeah, there's some programs in Lethbridge, but not very big.
Not a ton. Not enough.
Large.
Not enough.
Not big enough.
Okay. Well, is there maybe anything that we could be doing?
Of course, I've started a fundraiser. I'm going to start raising money towards educating people and creating fentanyl awareness.
Excellent.
So, once we can raise some funds, then we can go out into the community, and then we can start to help educate our youth and educate parents also. Parents is a big thing to educate, because parents need to know what to look for when their child are actually on these drugs.
There's symptoms, very specific symptoms, that you won't realize are drug symptoms unless you are educated on the actual consequences of what happens when you take a drug. You'd be like, oh, I'm just tired. You wouldn't believe how many people, oh no, I'm just tired. I'm just sleepy. No, you're not just tired and sleepy.
Yeah, if you want to know some just a few things to look for if somebody's on fentanyl, pupil dilation's a big one. Pupil dilation is a very large one. Dozing off throughout the day is another one. Constantly,
daydreaming, phased out daydreaming.
Yeah, and constantly maybe going into a room every hour, every 2 hours, waking up in the middle of the night. And I found that's what a girl that I had staying with me would wake up in the middle of the night, and that was her time to do it, because she could sneak out when everyone was sleeping, right?
What are some maybe withdrawal symptoms? Maybe those, like the initial withdrawal symptoms, things that, so say you have a friend that you suspect might be using, but they have a constant supply, so they always go back, but they start to experience withdrawal. What are some of the things that they'll start to look like when they're starting to have cravings? Because this is the symptoms that we really need to identify, because this is when we're going to be able to go, okay, this person needs help, because they're...
Oh, you mean maybe a symptom of overdose?
No, maybe just in everyday life. like extremely pale face, itching, things like that.
Yeah, they're gonna have
irritability.
They're gonna have clammy skin, hot, cold, pupil dilation again.
It's gonna look like the flu. Kind of like the flu.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to tell immediately if somebody's going through a withdrawal.
Well, and that's exactly it. You will, and I might, but they might not. They might see the flu symptoms and go, oh, that's the flu. But you need to be aware that they look very similar. And you don't get the flu every week.
Yeah.
You don't get the flu every week.
Yeah, and this is true. If you don't know what to look for, they could pass it off as the flu very easily.
And this is what parents are believing, because parents don't know.
Yeah, people on who become hooked on fentanyl become people who people who get hooked on fentanyl become very good compulsive liars. They will tell you anything in their means to get their next fix. You know, can I borrow $20 for this, or can I do this for that?
My car got siphoned, or
they will basically
crazy things.
They will basically make up any story issue to try and
facilitate them needing assistance.
Exactly.
But not for that.
Yeah.
They always have a crisis. There's always a crisis.
Yeah, and honestly, if you don't know what to look for, it can be really, really hard. You could be around a fentanyl addict for
you wouldn't know
a year, and you would have absolutely no clue to what was going on. Like
that's why it's a crisis.
Yeah.
That's why it's such a huge epidemic, because there's so many people that use like all the time.
Yeah.
And I am 100% sure there's people that would rather not. They would rather not spend their money on this stuff. They would rather not have this addiction, but they do, and they can manage it.
Yes.
But that's not healthy. That's not a proper way. And not only that, you managing your addiction shows other people that they should be able to manage their addictions too. And that's why we have epidemics, is because everybody is just showing everybody else, oh, here's how we can hang out with each other and manage our full-time jobs with these highly addictive drugs. That's not a good way to live.
No. And a lot of people who have been hooked on fentanyl, actually, I blame the pharmaceutical companies, to be honest. OxyContin's been around for a very long time. 10 years ago, you could see OxyContin was getting out of control, or even longer than that. And then, and then it spun into these synthetic fentanyls coming in. And then even 5 years ago, we were probably pretty much in an epidemic, and nothing was even brought up then. And now 5 years later, let me give you some statistics. In BC, just within 2017, we lost 1,100 Canadians.
A lot.
And that's a lot of people to lose, and people can be affected by this directly and very directly to family members, brothers, sisters, or indirectly as in friends, or acquaintance of friends. Like right now, it's really affecting everybody in some sense. Somebody knows about somebody who died on fentanyl, and that's why we need to step up as a community, as a nation, and we need to voice ourselves. We need to start a movement here, and we need to start a movement across Canada. And if it needs to start in Lethbridge, then so be it. Let's do it. Lethbridge is an amazing city. I've seen the most amazing things come out of Lethbridge. I walked into a fish and chips restaurant 1 year ago. I put one post on Facebook about how this guy's fish and chips restaurant was going down, and it was.
But they have the best fish and chips.
Yeah, and
Whippy's, by the way.
Yeah, Whippy's fish and chips. And then the next day, 400 people showed up. It was shared 9,000 times in 3 hours.
I read a story about a lady that came from Dubai to try the fish and chips.
Yeah, a woman literally flew from Dubai just to try the fish and chips. People were coming across the border from Montana as truck drivers, lined up.
So, Lethbridge has a voice. Lethbridge has a voice. But we need to focus on fentanyl. This is an issue here.
Sure.
So, what where can we go? What should we do? How can we promote awareness? What else can we do to make sure that people are stopping and getting better and trying to make healthier decisions? What else? What avenues would you recommend?
Education is the only way forward right now. In my opinion, education is the way forward. Right now, I'm actually doing a fundraiser. Believe it or not, I'm selling lip balm. It's kind of funny because I grew up on
let's get a good.
I grew up on a farm in Tabor, Alberta. Playing with guns and cows and chickens, and my grandpa had a buffalo ranch, and believe it or not, I'm fundraising with lip balm. But I'll tell you right now, boys, if you want a lot of ladies calling your phone, you get into the lip balm business because that's where it's at. So anyways, I'll tell you a little bit of story about, actually maybe I'll let him ask the questions about how I got into the lip balm.
That's probably a great idea, Colin. Colin, that is a very interesting container of lip balm you've got there, and you've been mentioning fentanyl this entire time. Can you tell me how lip balm has anything to do with fentanyl?
Well, so Sticks for Lips is a company it's an Alberta company. It's an all-natural, 100% all-natural product. It's a lip balm. And one of my partners that I deal with in Calgary on a regular basis, he's actually one of the part owners of this company. And so they've been going around doing fundraisers for schools. They sell lip balms to a school. All the kids go around. They sell them to all their mothers. And they've had an amazing feedback for fundraisers, right? So my partner in Calgary talked to me about it, and I thought, wow, that was absolutely amazing. And then I was sitting at home, and I was actually going out talking with schools about doing fundraisers for these, and I had a situation where fentanyl really kind of got into my life in a little bit of a way through a really close friend of mine. And I got just so fed up with hearing about the deaths. Like, I've already had 4 friends die just this year from fentanyl, and I'm just so sick of the hurt, and just sick of feeling like I can't do anything about it. So I made a firm decision that I was going to use the same idea my friend's doing with the schools and fundraisers, and I'm going to do a fundraiser for fentanyl awareness. So I'm selling these all-natural lip balms for $5, right? So for every stick that I sell, I'm giving $1 to a nonprofit organization that deals on the front lines of fentanyl awareness, and they're already educating people, and they're already set up in this manner to help facilitate the situation. But what they're lacking, which everybody is lacking in these types of situations, is funding.
Everybody needs it.
Right? So I don't know if you heard about Arches, but that's who I plan on donating this money to. They're kind of off the downtown core of Lethbridge. Amazing group of people. I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about Arches. They deal firsthand with, drug addicts, all different types of addictions, but they also go and they educate, and that's something we really need to do.
So, does Arches go into schools, or how do they reach into the community? What are they going to be
as
doing?
far as I'm aware, Arches is going into the local schools, and they are talking. For the short chat I had with Jill, she's one of the managers there. She made it aware that they do go into schools and help educate, and that's where I really think it's important to help educate the schools and help educate the parents, so the parents can watch for the signs. Like, this is really sad to say, but there are little girls right now in Lethbridge, between 11, 12 years old, using fentanyl in the city right now. And another sick part about such young people using this drug is older men will actually take advantage of these girls by offering them drugs for sexual favors. So it's created like a ring of pedophiles almost in our community. So that's why it's so vital for us to make a voice now. This could be your daughter. This could be your niece. This could be, you know what I mean, your granddaughter. Like, this is no joke. We need to act, and we need to act now. And we need your help.
It's a scary reality. It's a scary reality.
Yeah, it really is. So these tubs here, I'm going to be selling around Lethbridge, and they go for $200 a tub, okay? I've already had, you know, it's funny, I've already had 2 shops step up to the plate and jump on board, and believe it or not, 2 of them were marijuana-related shops. One shop is called Green Team. They're on 317 7th Street South.
That's with Sandy Smith. If you remember, about 3 weeks ago, we interviewed him on the Info Assault right here, and he was sitting right here. Good guy, good guy.
Yeah, he was actually the first guy to contact me to help me out with this because
good guy.
Because it's really touched him, and he, you know, he deals with the medicinal side of marijuana.
Medical marijuana, man.
Yeah.
It's actually a treatment for fentanyl. That's what they use. They actually use marijuana to treat fentanyl addictions. So.
And then the other people who jumped on board, believe it or not, which is absolutely amazing, is Bob Headquarters.
UB Headquarters.
And I really have a lot of respect for these places for stepping up like that. Like, Bob Headquarters does not want to associate themselves anything close to, you know, fentanyl whatsoever. They might sell some pipes in their shop, but it's all for marijuana medicinal use, right? Like, they're not trying to promote
tobacco shops and medicinal marijuana.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with addicting opioids.
Exactly. And you can actually go into Bob Headquarters and you can actually buy test kits. So if you are going to use drugs responsibly.
Yeah. The most dangerous thing about marijuana is when it's not marijuana.
Yeah. So if you are going to use drugs, use them responsibly, and you can go into Bob Headquarters and buy a test kit strip.
Definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out. So, why don't we talk about the specific lip balm a little bit?
Okay.
I hear there's some pretty good ingredients inside of this lip balm.
Oh God.
You know, just outside of it being for a good cause, I hear it's actually a pretty good lip balm.
Yeah. Well, I think, so the name of the company is Sticks for Lips, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Sticks for Lips. Sticks for Lips.
And this company is so new, like, we're talking within months new. Like, this product is being made inside of a guy's house, you know, in Edmonton through, like, an assembly line, and they're going to plan on bringing it to Calgary, but it's so new, but the products in it are absolutely amazing. It's 100% natural, no GMOs, gluten-free, no chemicals, and it's
organic.
Yeah, organic. It's a great idea for a fundraiser.
And you put it on your lips.
Yeah. For a statistic, 72% of women wear lip balm. Okay.
It's a lot.
And even though men will not
they won't admit
it, but 50% of men use lip balm.
I have to admit, I'm not in the 50%. I have very dry lips. You, on the other hand, Mr. Lipstick. This is no, but this looks like a great product here. I mean, I'm looking. You've got this is like a list and a half of crazy stuff. Just.
This right,
a lot of stuff.
This right here is the list of natural ingredients that we have in our products. And hold on while I grab another one.
There, I'll hold this right here. Let me see what we got here. We got coconut oil, castor oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, hemp seed oil, kokum butter, aloe butter, shea butter, cocoa butter, mango butter, essential oils, added flavors, vitamin E, rosemary leaf extract. This is a fun wrap.
Okay. Now this is a list of what we don't have in our lip balms, which all the other lip balm companies most likely do. And if you want to give that a read.
Yeah, let's check this out. So, I'm not going to say the word no at the beginning of all of these, but there's no any of this. You didn't tell me I had to pronounce these.
Okay, well...
Octinoxate. There's no octinoxate. There's no oxybenzone. There's no petroleum jelly. There's no ammonium glycyrrhizate. There's no dyes, artificial colors, petroleum, mineral oils, GMO ingredients, phthalates, palm oil, canola oil, soy oil, parabens, propylene glycol, propylthylene glycol, hydrogenated oils, limited...
So basically anything that you cannot pronounce on something you're putting on your body, you probably shouldn't buy. Let's stick to the more, olive oil, sunflower oil, castor oil, mango butter, cocoa butter, shea butter. That's what you want to stick to.
Dave, yes.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? We were thinking even today we should have a kissing booth so all the ladies can actually try these products out.
What do you think, Colin?
Will the lip balm help me to sling Thomas? What?
Sing like Thomas.
Well, I can't answer that question, Dave, because I've never heard Thomas sing. So, but I know the lip balm. Try it. I know the lip balm does give you a little bit of an edge. That's for sure.
Just a little bit of a competitive advantage, so to speak.
And also, so one thing too, if you want to support our cause, it doesn't matter where you live. You can live anywhere in North America. You can live anywhere in Alberta, Canada. If you want to support our cause, just get a hold of me. Message me on Facebook, Colin, Colin, Ross, Ross, and add me as a friend. And I will ship this anywhere you want in the world if you're willing to help out our cause. We're not just limited to Lethbridge. We can start the movement here, and if we get big enough, we'll go right around the world if we have to try and make a difference. So just so you know that, and if you feel like you want to help as a local in Lethbridge, you can buy $20 worth of these. They're $5 a stick, right? So buy 4 of them.
Christmas is coming up, stocking stuffers.
Yeah, and then go sell a few to your friends. So yeah, you can use 1, sell 3 to your girlfriends. Like I just said, 72% of women use lip balm.
I mean, 72%, that's pretty good odds. That's 3 out of 4 women. If you give them a lip balm, you did good.
Yeah. When she's reaching through that suitcase of a purse, and she, you know what I'm talking about, when she's just digging right in there, and she can't find it, you just say, hey, I got a lip balm for sale right here, root beer flavor. So, yeah.
Wait, what? Root beer flavor? Okay, wait, what flavors are there here? Because, we never even talked about flavors.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we definitely got lots of flavors. So I brought in a new flavor for men because, most men aren't going to go out of their way and buy vanilla and cherry. It's not an easy sale for men. But I brought this one specifically in for you, gentlemen. And it's a winter defense. It's for you hard-working boys that go out into the cold, like you, Don McLaughlin.
With your beards in November.
I can see you watching Don McLaughlin. And for guys like you, busting your ass off on the oil rig, can lather your lips up, and it's going to work fantastic. So, winter defense, definitely one of the ones I recommend.
Winterize your face.
And then another one is peppermint, another great one for men. We have vanilla, root beer, cherry, strawberry, and I brought in blueberry.
So, ladies, you're going to have to guess what flavor we are and then check.
Awesome.
Let's see, what else is going on here? So we got the chapstick. You're trying to get these distributed everywhere in the city. They're about $200 for a bin. They're all organic. They got just a list of great ingredients. You can check out all the ingredients online, I'm sure, at Sticks for Lips. That's the name of the company, and you can find it.
It's actually called, you can actually go to www.iago.ca IAGO.life.
IAGO, AGO.life.
Yeah, and that stands for It's All Good Organic.
It's All Good Organic, AIGO. All right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then also if any shops we're gonna run this campaign for fentanyl awareness, doing the fundraiser till December 31st. If any shops want to jump on board, and then after the fact want to actually retail this product, we're happy to set you up in order to retail the product after you've helped out with the fundraiser. And this kind of gives you like a little bit of a feel. So you can do the fundraiser and feel how people like the product. And then if you actually want to get into the product and sell it as a retail shop for this product, there's a great opportunity there to make some good money with the product.
Now, here's a question that I would have. If I was still running a shop, and I was like, I agree with what you're doing, and it looks like you got a good product here. How will I know if I've made a difference? Like, is it? So $1 is going to be going to $1 from every lip stick is going to be, or lip chap rather, is going to be going to fentanyl awareness and education training and things like that.
That's correct. And I'm going to be donating it to people who know how to deal with this. Like I said, arches, right?
So is this like a continual basis of donations, or do you have a goal, or? I'm
going to run a different stream of different types of fundraisers. Okay. So right now I'm doing the sticks for lips. So I'm going to be selling the lip balm till Christmas time, and then eventually I'm going to be doing some signage. Mm-hmm. So I want there to be signs all over the city to educate people on fentanyl awareness, right? Because that's what this is about.
Makes sense.
There's a good question to ask yourself is, when was the last time that you seen a sign about the harms of fentanyl in your local community?
Or did you know any of the stuff that we taught you?
Right? And you know what? You haven't seen any signs because there isn't any.
There's really not much out there. Unless you've had, like, somebody personally affected, it's pretty tough to innately know about this kind of thing because you don't have any reason to.
Yeah, so we want to bring some awareness around the city, get some signs made up. I have a vision to make some signs that people can actually buy for $20, kind of like a campaign sign for like a politician, and they can put it on their front lawns, and they can make a very bold statement that fentanyl is not welcome in their neighborhood, and nor will it ever be. So
it's a good idea. It's kind of like a neighborhood watch against drugs.
Yeah, so I'd sell the sign to them for $20, and then I'd give $5. Whatever the profit margin is, I would give to arches or whatever, right, to help educate.
I mean, it's still in the process of getting the details ironed out on the signs, but it's
the
same idea.
In the meantime, I'm actually creating awareness by selling the signs about awareness and then giving the money to create more awareness. Mm-hmm. So it kind of hits two birds with one stone, which is really nice. And that'll be after I run the Sticks for Lips campaign, so...
Excellent. So, I mean, it sounds like we've got a pretty fundamental idea of what you're trying to get accomplished here. What else do you want to touch on here, man?
Not much. Just Are
there any influential people you'd perhaps like to shout out to, or any other organizations specifically you wanted to mention, or?
I would like to just give a big shout out to my buddy Kenny, who got me involved with Stick for Lips. I love you, buddy. Give me a great opportunity to create a fundraiser. I have a friend named Clara. She's been helping me out big time with what's going on down here. I got a buddy named Connor. He's been helping me out. There's a lot of legwork what's going on here, and it's definitely just not me. Heather Russell, she's out in Tabor. She's taking orders for lip balms out in Tabor. If any of you want to step up to the plate and you want to help me, feel free to reach out to me. And, the more people we can get involved, the better. We live in a very selfish society, and it's so tough to really come together as a people when we're not united, because people create, so much selfishness. So we really just got to put the selfishness aside.
Yeah, it's not what's in it for me, it's what's in it for us.
We
need to make our community better.
Exactly. It's not about me being in the spotlight for this, or Thomas, or anybody. This is about helping community. This is about saving. Yeah, this is about saving Canadian lives. This is a full-out epidemic that needs to be brought to light. Like, people are hurting. People are down. People need help. And as a community that unites, we'll be we can move mountains as a community united. But as a community divided on issues, all it's going to do is create divide and more divide.
Alienation is what causes people to do drugs in silence.
Yeah.
They just suffer in silence. They don't say anything because they're alienated. If we come together as a community, we can fix this as a community.
Totally. And then people can actually see what we've done in Lethbridge through our learning experiences, right? And we can be like a role model for other cities and say, you know what? This is what Lethbridge did. This is how Lethbridge's approach was on it. And they've done phenomenal. They've managed to clean up their streets. They've managed to take the people using drugs to a safe injection place and cut down the amount of crimes that's going on with, when in the city, right? Because, throwing somebody in jail for using fentanyl is definitely not going to help them.
I think that's almost a really good marketing tool. Lethbridge is phenomenal with fentanyl.
Yeah, well, I think...
We could be.
I think you should say the
awareness, man.
The F-bomb to fentanyl.
Yeah. Well, might not be a great marketing campaign for the students, but your phone is gonna die, man.
Well,
we should give your final farewells because this is about to go out.
Okay, awesome. Well, if anyone has any questions,
contact Colin Ross, man.
Yeah.
This is the Info Assault. This is Jessfm.ca. My name is Thomas James Arelis Carpenter. We have been interviewing live on YouTube, on Facebook, on live radio. And Colin Ross is Sticks for Lips, fentanyl awareness, chapstick, really good. It's actually a really good product as well. And the money goes to, some of the money goes to a good cause. And it sounds like there's some really interesting flavors as well. Root beer chapstick. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and the best part about it is... we're doing a fundraiser and you're actually getting something for what you're buying and you're giving to a good cause. So you get something nice, you give to a good cause, everybody wins.
Excellent. And with that, you guys have yourselves a fantastic day. We're going to throw back on some live music and we'll see you later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good day. Peace and love.